Teaching excellence is important for our students' success because we know that students face many barriers on their journey. And in the ideal situation, excellent teachers turn barriers into gateways. Teachers open doors, and that's part of the craft. And so we're committed to teaching excellence at Texas A&M for that very reason.
We have some very outstanding faculty who actually are passionate about teaching in the classroom, and so they are typically always looking for ways to enhance the teaching that they're doing in the classroom.
The ACUE course is an intensive commitment to not only learn about high-impact, evidence-based practices, but also to challenge faculty to try them, to implement them in their classroom. It gives them sort of a safe place to do that with a lot of other faculty who are taking the exact same risks in their teaching. Of course, these are calculated risks, right? Because these are evidence-based practices. Not only are they doing that, but they are reflecting on those practices. So it's not just about action, but about reflective action in their teaching.
So ACUE has a national reputation for the ability to enhance learning. And the reason it fits so well with our university is because we have two strategic goals that specifically relate to transformational learning and enhancing student success, which ultimately influence first-year retention rates as well as increased graduation rates. The other strategic goal that we have is that we want to help grow and actually retain the faculty that we have, and one of the ways that we can do that is through offering more professional development to our faculty.
The ACUE cohort at Texas A&M University actually covers 8 different locations, partner and branch campuses. We have faculty from all across the state of Texas and, in fact, outside of the United States, 8 time zones away. So it was exciting that we were able to pull this diverse group together into cohorts to sort of cross-pollinate, if you will, regardless of their discipline, regardless of their rank, their title, the years of experience that they had. I think there's something really fresh that happens when you get a diverse group of minds together in the same room that are sort of trying to address the same sort of core issues as it relates to their student success and student learning.
When the opportunity came to enroll in the course, I took advantage of it because I really felt there was a gap in my own teaching. I kind of took bits and pieces from different webinars and different conferences that I've attended, but I still felt that I was missing, that I was cutting the students short in some way, and I just really wanted to tie it all together, and this program did that for me.
So I went into the ACUE course this time not really understanding what to expect. I thought this would be somewhat of a review, but what I learned was that some of the practices that I thought I was doing well really needed to be improved, and I didn't always understand the why behind some of the things that I did. And I learned a lot from not only the structure of the course, learning from experts, best practices from around the country, but I also learned a lot from the other instructors in my cohort as well.
The key practices and takeaways that impacted me the most was the fact that I may not be aligning things well enough for the students. That some of my assignments that I had, I really wasn't measuring them so that they met the outcomes. And I've revamped a lot of their assignments with that in mind.
One of the things that I have always had the hardest time with teaching undergraduates in particular is classroom discussions. And so I had some exercises that I always did in my class to stimulate discussion, but I never got the involvement that I would like. After going through this course, I realized that if I really loaded it on the front end by explaining why are we having this class discussion and what do you as a student get out of this discussion, and then being able to do almost like an after action after the activity to say, okay, and then this is how we connect it to the course. I never would have done that before until I took this course, and I was able to do that. And when I look at some of the comments in student evaluations about what I call the great debate exercises, students not only are really connecting with the material more, but they're starting to learn something about their own values. And so that's when I knew that I had implemented something from this course and it was working.
Our faculty who are involved in ACUE taught over 1,300 section of courses in this last academic year. And then we know that they've influenced some 30,000 students as a result of that. That's the direct impact. The indirect impact is the ripple effect that happens when those colleagues go back to their departments and they talk about what they're doing in the classroom and what's working and what's not working and what they're going to do differently next time. And as a result, there's the indirect impact of all of the colleagues and lecturers and TAs around campus who are benefiting from this intensive experience that our faculty have been through.
I feel like I am better engaged with my students. I think it made me think about my course material and the structure of my course more intentionally. And again, it's about creating that exciting, engaging classroom environment that really leads to student success.
But it really is empowering that you have control over your course, and you have now a method in which to deliver that and it be successful and meaningful to students.
I think it behooves all of us to be lifelong learners to start with. And just as a teacher, that means that I'm always having to learn new methods to teach. There's new technologies, there's new knowledge, and students change over time. The students that we have today are not the same as the students we had 5 years ago. They're not going to be the same students as the one we have 10 years from now. And I've always kind of carried it as a mantra that if I ever think that I have learned everything there is to know about what I'm doing, then it's time for me to retire. Teaching is a huge responsibility, and anything that we can do, such as the ACUE courses, the other things offered by the Center for Teaching Excellence, not only helps us become better teachers, but better people. And it helps our students follow our example when they leave this place. And I think there's no greater legacy that we can leave.